That was the Doom version of a Blur, but without doing it. Carlo and Brendan here from Games, Brains and Headbanging Live. gbhblofficial for short. Hey, it's reaction time. I'm going to be checking out some music with a Brendan suggestion coming in hot in 2023 with Tribunal, Without Answer. A band name rings a bell, but I don't know much about this track. But I'm pretty sure this is a recent review for you as of the time recording of the site.
Yeah, that's probably why it rings a bell, to be honest. It was like 2 hours ago.
The one at 5, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, so like this is obviously it's a new album that's actually due out on the 20th of January, so tomorrow at the time of recording. Debut album from the band, Vancouver-based band. Genre-wise, we're talking gothic doom metal. Not necessarily words that normally fill me with like, oh, this is gonna be my jam.
Yeah.
But to be honest, it's a phenomenal album. The reason Without Answer is the song that's been played is because it's one of only 2 singles that are out at the moment until tomorrow passes, when I guess when you can get your hands on the whole album. This is also my first 10 out of 10 album of the year. So and I could easily have chosen either of the singles or any other song on the album. I was and still am absolutely blown away. I've ordered 2 variants of the vinyl instantly. I now have to wait about 6 years for them to be delivered from Vancouver, probably.
Oh no, Vancouver.
I think it's absolutely fucking amazing, and it blew me away. So, it's one of those ones where I'm excited to play it. I've not seen the video at all, so I've only listened to the songs, and I'm very excited for tomorrow when the whole album comes out and I can listen to it only for the rest of the year.
Okay, that's fascinating, amazing to see an album get 10 out of 10 from you already in January 2023. You're not alone. I have a 10 out of 10 this month as well. So well on done to those bands for already blowing us out of the water. You are right. You say gothic doom. That's my shit, not yours. Like that is it. It's simple as that. So it's quite surprising that it's. Well, it must be good if it got your attention and a 10 out of 10 score. So I'm sure to love it, right?
I hope so.
Okay.
I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm always intrigued. I like the genre and I like the fact that you've praised it so much. So let's do this in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, unexpected instrument. That was the Doom version of a Blur, without doing it.
It's way too fast to be Doom.
Eric Gustafsson cinematography. It's a very nicely shot video. Great job, Eric. My hum there at the end was because I was like, I wonder where this fits in the album. Now, thankfully, in the description, it's all there, which will put it. And goodness did not answer. It may be called without answer, but it answered my question. And because I was wondering, okay, we got a little bit of an extended outro here. Is this a finale or is it like randomly in the middle and all that? But actually, it's the penultimate track, which does now. Oh, I'm like, okay, so you do that and you get to that, and then maybe who knows what you've got at the end with the path, presumably.
I know.
Bigger, yeah. Beside Brendan knowing something bigger, grander, and so on. Go read his review if you want to know more. So yeah, I thought it was really, really cool. Yeah, I really like that. I really like that a lot. It's not quite as simple, Gothic Doom is. As always, it seems these days, and not necessarily the simplest way to. It is a simple way to describe a band, but it's not always going to capture exactly what you're experiencing here. At times, it's heavier and faster. And it's got a little bit more tempo, pace, and energy to it that moves it out of the Doom thing. The Gothic aspect comes mainly because of the string instruments, more than anything else, and that's adding that touch because it's not quite symphonic because there's not enough going on in that. At times, they allow that instrument as well to take prominence. Other times, it's just carefully layered there, and it's not that important either in relation to what the guitars and the drums are doing and so on. And obviously, you get two varied vocals as well. But what I really like, right? I don't know, maybe this is just, maybe I'm just too used to hearing like this sort of balance of guttural male vocals and cleaner female vocals. Here, it's not quite as clear cut as that. All right, no, right. So the male vocals are quite guttural. They are quite, that kind of thing.
Yep.
But her vocals, while they are clean, they're not like so like we're not talking Nightwish stuff here. Do you know like that? It's a bit more scaled back. It's a bit more deeper. It's a little less in your face in that aspect. It's not as well done. Which I really like because they could have easily fallen into a trap of being like, right, when it's doomier, the male vocals will be the And when we go to a little bit more symphonic or a little bit more gothic, high and faster, that's where you'll come in. It's like, no, that's not actually how it works. It's nicely, really well balanced. I enjoyed that aspect of it as well. And I imagine there's certainly a lot more experimentation going on throughout the whole album, because there is a fair amount in this. But structurally, it's what, 6:17. So, with that, it's like 6 odd minutes, which is still a long song. But that didn't feel that long, because its initial doomy tempo that would return several times throughout it is constantly, for me, changed and upended through it. So you are getting those little bursts of energy. We are noticing a different melodic touch here and there. You got a video, like I said, it's shot well, but it's not that interesting, if I'm honest. It's not that interesting. Into what so you end up focusing, rightfully so, on the music. And it's just a really strong, doom-infused, gothic tinged, enjoyable track.
Yeah, I like I said, for me, like, it's one track on an album. I think like it's a really, I mean, I really love the song. I find it quite beautiful, but I find a lot of the album like that. And there is a good blend on the album as well. There is, as I said, I talk like there's 100 songs on the album. There isn't, but there's ones that lean a little bit more on the heavier. There's ones that lean a little bit more on the female vocals and the cello, which is a massive part of it, of the album as a whole. The last song, for example, is 12 minutes long, whereas there's
right,
so it is a like you kind of want, to be honest with you, because it's quite a large, not talking about length, but like it feels like a big album. I was also just blown away by just the simple fact that this is a relatively new band, and this is a debut, and this is the first single of that debut. I feel like it's not my natural go-to music anyway, so I haven't really got hundreds of things that I'm comparing it to, but whatever it is about this album, like, it clicked like well with me, a lot. I really enjoyed the vocals. I like the fact that, like, although the male vocals are guttural, like you said, musically across the whole album, often the vocals aren't centerpiece. Like, they're quite faded back in the mix. You know what I mean? It doesn't, like, he doesn't shout over the music. He becomes like a strand of the instrumentation rather than, you know what I mean? It's kind of faded. I agree with you on the video. Candles and cups over spill, my cup over spilleth, or whatever the term is. It's all pretty standard stuff. I think, what I thought was quite cool about it is obviously because Soren Morn, who's the celloist, is also the bassist. So they cut the video in a way that you never saw the two of them obviously at the same time, because they were both the same person.
Yeah, I've just been noticing that as well, is because obviously you watch that video and you're like, well, it's a 5-member band, but that's not quite the case. It's actually 2 primary members, Soren Morn, as you say, bass, cello, vocals, and Ateen Finn, guitar and vocals. And you have 3 live members, but additional recording musicians, which I guess you would have seen in the video, Julia G-man on drums, and other parts there. So I guess that's basically a 2-piece is what they appear to be, for the most part, which makes it all even more impressive then.
I mean,
all that together.
I think as well, when you think of because it's a debut album, sometimes a band sort of set. You think like of Zealanada as an example, first sort of album now, it's a one-man band with live people. Album by album 3, he's got a full sort of band. So I didn't read too much into that. I think it's okay. Like, I guess it takes time to settle your live performers. If they do a very good job, they can join the band.
I mean, or you get enough attention that suddenly musicians like, oh, I've come across and I'd really like to play your music with you and stuff like that, and contribute, and that's how it goes down and all that. But right now, clearly based off this track and this incoming, as of the time recording, new debut album, I hopefully, I guess they'll get a little bit more attention. I mean, it's out via, I don't know, well, $20 spin, $20 spin. Yeah. So decent label as well.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot. It's going to quite be memorable, and obviously you like it a lot. So no worries. That's Tribunals with our answer. What do you reckon? You taken by it? Let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?